So this is going to be my 6th video on how to beat every character in Grand Blue. Today we'll be doing Ferry. Whatever top comment is, or whatever character gets requested the most, will be the next character I do. So, let's talk about Ferry. She's a zoner, and on certain hits, you know, maybe sweep, you can get overhead, instant overhead, so you can get pretty good mix-ups. So, how do we deal with this? Well, let's talk about her buttons first. So, like most people, plus on block 6XL, plus on block close light. Her close medium is even on block, but her close H is +3. Very few characters have that. Oop, I gotta turn that off. Turn that off for now. Diva being -2. So one thing that Ferry can do, this for a second. So that's a frame trap. It'll beat your light. So you can get caught staring at this a little too much. So just know that she needs to be at least +3 for this to be an actual frame trap. He does this. Then your light will stuff it out. So it is something you can try. You just look. But if she does close H, she usually gets 2, but after she gets her second one, you notice the pushback on block. You can never get a third one without having to go like maybe 6XL into it or something like that. But Ferries don't usually stagger their pressure like this, so it's something you can do. That you can be looking for. Alright, so let's talk about our other buttons. So she has really far-reaching standing and crouching normals. And her light, her far light is actually negative on block. So something to note here. Ferries love to do 2L, or not 2L, sorry, 5L, 5L. What you can do here, I mean not, is you can hit them out of the second, even if it's out of range. So I'll use like a medium button like the Diva. So I'll show you again. If we did not need to spot that. Let me back up a little bit. Oop, I have to pause for time. So as you can see, this button, well, it's a medium button, so it's going to crush her light, even though it wouldn't normally hit. So obviously you see that the kick obviously isn't hitting her, but it's crushing her light, so you should try this more often if you're getting spammed down by 5Ls from a Ferry player. And then just, you got to look for whatever unique combo you can get out of this. So with Diva, for instance, yeah, that's obviously character dependent. Maybe you won't get anything, or maybe you get like Fireball or something, but that's something you can be looking out for. Outside of that, all of her other buttons are going to be negative on block as well. Oop, let me block switching. So -9, -8, -15. Obviously we don't talk about 2H, but that's also -10. I guess one thing we can talk about 2H before we go into what she can do with like canceling into whip is that if you block this, it is air blockable. Now most Ferry players are probably going to do like this. Whip. God damn it. There you go. So, H Beppo is not air blockable, but all the other versions are, besides the H and Unique. So here I put it. I can time my jump better. So, if you block that, you're going to be plus. That includes the H. Oops. Got to show that. I jumped over that. So you'll be plus on their face. So this is one of the reasons why jumping can be pretty effective against Ferry. Obviously, if they anti-air you, then they can get a big combo, but you can jump a decent amount against Ferry. Alright, so now let's go into the other buttons. So, most Ferry players are going to do this to harass you a lot. First off, with this OK chip, not the greatest. or this is light whip, and she can use this off of any of her buttons. The thing to note is that off of any of her buttons, this is never a true block string. You can always roll it, or spot dodge it if you want to. I probably would go with roll. Now, a character like Ladiva only gets +6, but other characters get +10. Ladiva has a bad roll. So, from certain ranges, you roll this, bam, punish. Now, obviously, they don't have to do that, so let me show you. They can do like. Oops. Actually, I probably gotta do it like this. God damn it. So yeah, they can do stuff like that, where it'll catch your roll. They can look for it after any of their buttons. Because even though they're minus, your roll takes 29 frames and is something that you could see and try and counter hit once they do it. Also, if you're spot dodging immediately, they can go for the medium one. And the medium whip, you can charge it up, and it can catch your roll. Also, if they do that and they hold it, they can pull you in and get a combo. Let's see how I can do that. That worked. Okay. Now, something you can do is if you see them do the medium whip, you have a few options here. You can try and delay roll. So you see you block that, and then you can wait and see that they do the medium, and you can roll it. If you roll this, they're negative so much. But you have to make sure that you wait a while to roll, so they can charge it all the way up. I don't know why everybody's punishes. Oop. Really? Okay, yeah, so you can't get a 6 kill. Anyway. So, one thing to note. So now I have one where they charge it and one where they don't. Is it not working? No, I guess the 7 replay got bugged out. Oh, come on. So if you time this correctly, you can dodge both. Oops. Wait, I gotta. It's harder for me to do because I don't use the block button like that, so it's kind of weird to let off the block button and then roll. There we go. Now I'm getting it now that I'm not using the block button. But if you get this kind of timing here, and you can dodge both, obviously you won't be as plus on the non-charge version, but you should be able to get a punish still. So that's what I want to talk about for the cancels. Obviously, like I said before, they can just not cancel, and then you're sitting there doing nothing. But if you're just blocking, then, you know, they do... Let me turn off this. And you can get your run in between. You think they're just gonna not do anything. Also, you get, you know, you got your run jumps. And if you're fast enough, you might be able to get something like that. So you have plenty of options to deal with this. Other things that could happen. You have like this. Oop. As soon as you see this animation, you know that Gigi's gonna come out, and you can start running. Okay. But once you see this animation, you can start running up. You might not get a punish, but the only thing that can happen here is if they block. Let's see, can I... Oops. Okay, that was a punish. But if they're forced to block, GG goes away. So maybe you see that. You can try and throw a fireball, because then they have to spot dodge. You can interact with GG. Can you hit it? I never tried to do that. Ah. So no, you can't hit it with a normal thing, but you can hit it with a projectile. Interesting grand things. But for the most part, if you see that, you just want to run up. If you're really looking for it, you can try and, you know, get a combo like that. Most characters have some kind of move like this. Alright, let's go back to La Diva. Showing off La Diva in this matchup, just to show, like, some more smaller things. So, now that you've seen the cancels and some of the options you can do, well, I guess I could show off the other one. Like, the medium one doesn't really do anything, and mostly will just fly up. And then the heavy one, you can just run by this one as well. The only difference is it has 5 less frames. So this one's 45. This one's 45. And this one is 40. So things to note. If you block this in the air, like you're holding up to jump, you're pretty cooked here. You're just gonna have to hold that. You can try and jump out, but you're most likely gonna get caught if they're just trying to see if you'll jump, so... How do I want to do this? Kind of weird to show, but... You block this. Let's say you blocked in there, right? Then they can do this, and then you're locked into the GG. What else was I gonna go over? Oh yeah, so with HGG... You can always try and react to it. They're pretty safe though. Like, it takes a while to recover, but trying to react to whatever H they're using here can be difficult. But one thing to note, you can just run over it. Even with La Diva, who's a slow character, you can just run past it. Now, the difference being, you can't run past this one. My recommendation is usually to wait and then jump back, because then it'll miss. Alright. One thing I skipped that I'll go over now. This is a decent chip out move that they'll try and use. The bad thing about it, if they use this without thinking, they're just using it for whatever reason, it is plus. So it's +3 on block. But if this is a move that locks into an animation, you can always push block this, and you're pretty much doing the same amount of damage for them. Obviously, you're losing one of your crystals, but I don't think it really matters because usually you don't want to get pushed back out against Ferry. So I would recommend push blocking that. Not all the time, obviously. You want to keep your crystals, but if you're getting low, it might be good. And also, you know, you get your advantage here. I keep missing that, so I'm bad. But yeah, you can get your advantage, you can get your run up, whatever you want. Something I didn't talk about are buttons. They all have really long recovery. And something I wanted to show with La Diva and all the other characters is that you can hit these buttons, right? Go back up. You can hit them. La Diva has a really handy tool in Sweep. It hits really high. So you can catch stuff like this. Other characters can't do that, but the other characters can still do stuff like this. Another thing to know is with the medium buttons and the heavy, well, I guess mostly it's the medium. You can try and throw out your own heavy. Alright, there we go. And you can crush theirs. So that is something you can try to do. So I'll show this off with Grand again. Oh. Well, obviously you get that. But you can't get the sweep like the Diva, because your sweep hits low. But you can also crush their medium with your heavy, if you're on the right timing. But what you can do, if they sweep, if they use a 2M a lot, you can sweep that. So that is something else you could be looking for. So if they're using the 2M a lot, they're trying to stop you from moving around. Bam! Now you're already back up in their face. What else? H is a real hard button for them to whiff, but if they're really throwing this button out for no reason, you can punish this one. The other one, like the medium buttons, recover fast enough where it's hard to close this much distance. But the H, you make this whiff, you pretty much could punish it with like any lariat type move. It also has the hitbox extended, so you can get weird stuff like that. Can I get this to be normal? No. So I guess, you know, be careful with what moves you use to try and punish this, because obviously, as you see, the hitbox lingers really far out, so it can really mess up moves like Grand. I don't know exactly what other characters will have this problem. That's pretty much it for the buttons. I guess I can talk about this. This one's just not as important. It's usually just used at the end of like auto combos or certain things to just try and get some space. It's -7 for the light one, which is the one I don't usually see. Something to note though, if they use the medium one, which pushes you back further, is also only -3. That you can just spot dodge this. And you can get a punish, -12 there. But if they do this off of buttons, like random buttons into it, so they go like... This can be exceptionally hard to actually spot dodge cleanly. So you have to delay it a lot, or if you don't, you'll get hit. If you spot dodge immediately, bam, you'll get hit. It's also really bad if you're in the corner. Oop. And you get counter hit by that, then they can get a combo. I think that's pretty much all I have to say about it, really. There's not too much to talk about with the hoop. It's just gonna push you out. Usually, they'll use ones like the H, for instance, here. This one pushes you this far out. They're only -3. This is basically round start. So, you might see this a lot. But it's nothing really to worry about. Doesn't do that much chip. And if you just spot dodge, if they are doing it after auto combos, usually you'll just dodge it cleanly. Or, for instance, with this one, it's just a real block string. Did I not save it? Yeah, so that's just a real block string. What else is there? What else is there? You got the dive kick. The dive kick This one is where you just have to make a judgment call. Like, it's kind of hard to go over all the ways this can hit. Just note that if it hits high, they're going to be negative. And if it hits low, like real low to your knee, they're probably going to be kind of plus. See? Right about there. It can also be hard to tell how many hits they're gonna get. So that's 2 hits. That was only 1. That was even on block and only 1. Very weird move to deal with. I don't see too many people using it, but I wouldn't worry about it too much. The swing. There's 2 swings. They have the one that goes back and the one that goes forward. So how to tell the difference is whatever way they start swinging first. They're gonna go the opposite way. So they swing back to go forward, and they swing forward to go back. So that's how you tell the difference. Not a move I see too often either, so not too important. I guess I'll talk about the reversal. Do I have them set the reversal? I don't. So Ferry doesn't have, or Ferry only has a unique reversal. Her heavy one does, or heavy Beppo is not an actual reversal. So one thing to note is that she has a very quick one. So what you can do is you can spot dodge on lights if you bait a brave counter the old man way. Before they made brave counter +2 on block instead of or they made it -2 on block instead of plus on block. So now you can spot dodge this. And you can bait both. You can bait the DP and you can bait a brave counter at the same time. So it's very cool. Let me try and figure out what else I want to do here. I guess I can talk about the super. So he has this super. Very cool super. Nobody uses it. So what it does is it allows her to cancel her normals into normals. Oop, I gotta turn off that. So after she does this, she can go light, medium, heavy. So light, medium, heavy. Or she can go heavy, medium, light. It's not really that important to know. Nobody uses this, like, at all. I never see anybody use it. I guess that's really it for that. One thing to note is that I see a lot of Ferry players do this. So to deal with this, if you block the sweep, you delay, and then you have to do a special move. It's like you saw right there. It can be really hard to actually punish this. Oops, messed up. If you go too early, you'll get hit. It's easier to do with short characters. So, can I get a punish? Am I good enough? That is a punish. Actually, does it? It'd be funny. I don't think that punish. Oh man, this timing's rough. Ooh. It's really hard with the diva because she's so tall. But you can sweep. For other characters, it kind of matters like how tall you are, what kind of moves you have. So, pretty sure about every character has some way to punish this as soon as it goes off. I believe with Grant, he's so short he can actually just delay run under. Yeah. So if you have a short character, you won't have to deal with the problem. But if you don't, if you're playing a tall character, then you might have to use your imagination and try and come up with your punish. I guess the last super here, it's just negative. It's just negative ability. You don't have to worry about it. It's not even a low. It looks like a low, it's not a low. Okay. So let's talk about some setups that you need to know about. I believe I still have this set up properly. So, as you just saw, with this setup, you get pulled into the corner. Like, you know, maybe you're doing some kind of pressure or something. Like fake pressure, and then you get jabbed, and then she pulls you into the corner. So if you get pulled into the corner, you need to tech roll. So let me better to do this just into this. I turn off block. So you see she's only plus 34. So if she does GG afterwards, she'll be -6 because it takes 40 frames for it to go off. But that's if you tech roll. So, oops. So, did I really not record? So I didn't tech roll there. Oop. Let me do this without calling GG. So if you don't tech roll, she's plus 55 instead. Let me just show you one more time. So whenever you get hit by this, you want to be mashing till you get your roll. And then bam. You don't have to deal with the mix-up. So if she does this anyway and you tech rolled, alright, tech rolled, you can hit her out of it. Now, if you're late, you can try and grab, or if you hit her, as you see, maybe she blocks it. GG will still go away, so you'll still be fine. Now, we can go to another setup that is very common. I'm not going to go over her real setups because those are just real mix-ups. You just have to hold those. But this is a fake setup you see a lot. So you get back thrown into GG into jumping overhead. So this setup is kind of fake. It's kind of a gimmick. So let me show you. So if you hold up back, you'll jump out of this setup. But I believe it's this one. Alright, yeah, so it's this one. So I'll show you. But if you hold up back and they do close heavy, it'll hit you out of it and they can get a combo. So it's kind of up to you what you want to try and guess around. But if you don't want to get opened up by the jump heavy or the light, I believe I still have it set up as 5 as the light. So you get grabbed here, they do it, and they try and hit you with the light. Your jump will make you dodge the light, so you'll be fine. So the only thing they can hit you with there is the close heavy. Oh yeah, I guess is it this one? So just to show you real quick. Oop, let me set on the block. So, one thing to note, if you block this first overhead and they go for another one, they're going to be -1 billion, even if it hits you. Anytime they do this button while rising and there's no GG behind it, then it just makes them negative. It doesn't matter if they hit it or not. Just get ready to get a punish. I have seen this happen a few times when they're trying to close out a game or something, where you have like no HP and they go for this and you block it, and I've seen people miss it. So just, you know, figure out whatever you want to do to punish them. You have all day. You don't have to do anything crazy. But you can mess up your combo. Just know you have to wait if you want them to be landing. Or if you catch them early, you might have to adjust your combo. So I believe that's all I wanted to talk about. So thank you guys again for watching. And let me know what other characters you guys want me to go over. Until next time.